The laughter echoed through the glass-walled atrium like a careless coin tossed on marble, sharp and humiliating, and it stopped only when the janitor's hands touched the piano. Instant, the polished headquarters of a powerful corporation seemed to hold its breath, sunlight spilling through tall windows as if even the day wanted to listen. If you believe in kindness and second chances, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Touch of Kindness. Stories like this exist because people still choose compassion, and your support keeps them alive. The building belonged to Arden Vale Industries, place of steel schedules and sharp suits, where ambition hummed louder than the air conditioning. At the center of it all stood Celeste Rowan, the celebrated CEO whose rise was the stuff of business journals. She was brilliant, fearless, and famously untouchable, hosting a daytime charity gala to celebrate a record-breaking year. A grand piano had been rolled into the atrium, more for show than sound, gleaming beneath banners and applause. Celeste had made a light, careless remark earlier, a challenge framed as humor, suggesting that if anyone could truly play Chopin with heart rather than polish, it would be worth more than any contract. The crowd laughed, the moment passed, and attention returned to champagne flutes and cameras. Quiet margins of the event moved Elias Marino, the janitor. He wore a faded blue uniform and carried the weight of nights spent cleaning what others celebrated by day. Elias had once studied music, long before bills piled up and responsibilities narrowed his world to corridors and mop buckets. He cleaned offices while listening to memories, fingers twitching in the air as if tracing melodies no one else could hear. He had learned to stay invisible. Being seen, he believed, only brought pain. As the gala swelled and the laughter lingered too long, something inside Elias stirred. He saw the piano not as furniture, but as a friend left unattended. His heart pounded as he stepped forward, every footfall heavy with doubt. He felt eyes turn, some amused, some annoyed, some already dismissive. This was the challenge of his life, against the CEO, but against the fear that had kept him silent for years. Elias sat at the piano in full daylight, sunlight warming the keys, his hands down with reverence. The first notes of Chopin flowed out softly, fragile as breath. Conversations faltered. The music grew, not flashy, not loud, but honest, shaped by loss and hope and the long patience of endurance. Each phrase carried the ache of dreams deferred and the quiet courage of continuing anyway. The atrium transformed, the corporate edges dissolving into something human and tender. Even the city noise beyond the glass seemed to recede. Celeste Rowan felt the shift before she understood it. She had built her life on control, on winning rooms with confidence, yet now she stood still, undone by a melody played by someone she had never noticed. The music did not beg for approval. It simply existed, and in doing so, it reflected something back at her she had neglected for years. When the final note faded, the silence was deeper than applause. The CEO's smile had vanished, replaced by a humility that silenced the room more completely than any command ever could. The days that followed unfolded in daylight clarity. Elias was offered opportunities he never imagined, not as charity, but as recognition. Celeste re-examined her own words, her own careless power, and began reshaping the culture she led. A scholarship fund was announced. The piano remained where it was. Time concerts filled the atrium with ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Elias continued to clean, but now he also played, his life expanding rather than escaping its roots. As this story nears its end, if it touched your heart even a little, please show your support by engaging with the video. Your likes, comments, and shares help spread messages that remind us who we can be. And before the final moment fades, leave a comment sharing what kindness or second chances mean to you, because your words might be the encouragement someone else needs today. In the end, it was never about a challenge or a promise spoken lightly in daylight. It was about listening, truly listening, when an unexpected soul dared to be heard. The janitor's music did not just silence a CEO, it awakened a room, and perhaps all of us.